Hello, I'm Matthew from Ludobox, and today I'm going to give you an overview of an expansion game which is called Clans of Caledonia. So this is a game about 19th century Scotland, and you're going to be a clan and you want to have the strongest political influence over Scotland. So this is a management game, an expansion game for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and it plays for around 30 minutes per player. So in this game, you're going to be a clan. So you're going to have your own clan board. And as you see, this clan board is quite full. You're going to have merchants, upgrades, shipping, which is very important. I'm going to come back to that later. Sheep, cows, and you may transform the milk of the cows into cheese. You may have cereals, bread and whiskey. And finally you have workers, which may be woodcutters or miners. And you're going to place those on the board from your personal board onto the main board because you want to expand actually, and you want them to produce as many resources as possible. And you want to build an engine which is at the same time economical, and you want to do that by blocking the others as well, because the others are going to try to expand as well and they want to get the best spots over there, and you don't want them to get them. So that's how the game goes. And you win the game by having the most victory points. And the victory points, you're going to score them at the end of each of the 5 rounds of the game, which have a scoring for each, and also by fulfilling export contracts. So these are the main victory point sources. You also have other sources like how well you settled, your remaining resources at the end of the game, that kind of thing. So how do we play this game? So this game is going to be played over 5 rounds, and every round is going to be the same. You're going to have an action phase, a production phase, and a scoring phase. So first, the action phase. You're going to have these this money. These coins are kind of action points, and you want to spend them as wisely as possible. So to expand, which is one of the main actions of the game, you're going to select a worker. So usually you will have some workers and you have to expand within shipping distance, which is why shipping is important. And for example, if I want to place a woodcutter, it has to be in a forest. If I want to place a miner, it has to be in a mountain. It's the type of restriction you might have. And all the other ones have to be on fertile land. So for example, I want to put a miner here. The miners cost 10 money, and this spot here costs 2 money. So I need to spend actually 12 to play that miner. So let me give 15 here and get 3 back. So that's how expansion goes. If I can, it's possible that I can't, but I can cross rivers. So for example, here I don't have any shipping, and you could upgrade your shipping as an action, but it costs money as well. So I could cross rivers, then cross lochs, which are the lakes of Scotland. And if I can cross rivers, I could probably take this space, which is very good for me. So for example, I want to place a farm here. It costs 18 plus 1, 19. So I would spend 20 and get 1 back. That's really the basic expansion of the game. So the problem with that is that the other people are going to do so. I take an action, the next player takes an action, etc. until everyone passes. And if someone goes close to me, neighbors me, that player, for example, if white would do that, white could probably benefit from my presence here. So white could actually buy a resource that I produce on that spot, on that neighboring spot. But white could have a discount at the market. And this is very good because it saves you money. You don't have the choice of the resource that you get, but actually a discount is pretty good because it's action points that you save. So in this case, you're going to check the market. I'm producing wheat, so it would be 5, and then minus 2, I would pay 3. White would pay 3 to get a wheat. Every time you buy products from the market, they go up. The rate goes up. And this is very good if for the other players if they produce them, because they can sell them and it makes the prices go down, of course, but if they can sell at a higher price, it's very good for them because they gain action weight. So that's basically how the game goes. You also have the possibility of taking an export contract, you place it in the dedicated spot here, and the problem is that you only have one spot, so if you're stuck with that contract, you cannot fulfill it, too bad for you. But if you fulfill it, which is another action, you gain usually exotic materials, which are victory points in the end of the game, and money. So that allows you to go on and to buy a lot of things. You can use merchants, and the merchants allow you to purchase or sell materials, but you won't be able to use merchants to sell and purchase the same good in the same turn. So this is very important, and at the end of the turn, you remove all of them. Of course, you have a limited number of merchants, but you could probably buy them off your player board. So you can buy a lot of them, and you can have a lot of merchants to buy a lot of goods and sell a lot of goods, so you can have an economy that's based either on the market or on other things. So once everyone has passed, you move on to the production phase, in which every single of your buildings is going to produce or to transform the materials. So for example, the distillery is going to transform wheat, or bakeries are going to transform wheat as well to make them into bread. You have that kind of resource transformation. And at the end of the round, you have also a scoring phase. The scoring phase is going to make you score points according to the tile of the turn. And every turn you're going to have a different scoring, which allows you to build a strategy around them. So this is really good because you want to have, like, for example, for that first turn, you want to have the most wheat, wool, and milk. And you're going to score points according to the number of resources, of such resources that you have. So you will spend them probably a turn later or something. So you're going to play 5 rounds of this, and after the 5th round, you're going to end the game and count the final victory points. So the exotic materials are going to be worth a certain number of points. Sometimes they have certain values. So for example, hops are always 1, but for cotton, cotton, tobacco, and sugarcane, you're going to have a certain value depending on the rarity of that item. So it's also very important to check those out. So you're going to count those exotic materials, the victory points that you've gained, the remaining money and resources that you have, the expansion, make up a total, and that should tell you if you win or lose. So this is the basic of the game, but you also have clan tiles, which are very important. You're going to have one at the beginning of the game, and it is going to follow you the entire game. And it's going to give you an edge on a certain area of the game. So for example, if you take the clan Buchanan, you're going to be able to hold a second export tile. So you're going to be more flexible. If you play as Cunningham, you're going to be able to sell 1 more milk. You're going to be able to sell milk for a lot of money. If you have Stuart, you're going to be able to ship faster and to have more merchants from the beginning of the game. So that's still points and money that you won't have to use to do that. Well, this was a basic run-through of Clans of Caledonia, which is this game in which you want to build that engine until it runs smoothly, and you want it to run the longest time possible over the 5 rounds of the game. Now you know everything or almost everything about this game, so play well and see you on LudoVox.